For you senseis who watch and are fans of the anime A Certain Scientific Railgun, rejoice! As Blue Archive's limited collab with the anime is finally arriving to global, with Misaka Mikoto and Shokuhou Misaki being the featured limited 3-star units, and Saten Ruiko appearing as the event's welfare student. With that, hi, my name is X, and even though I have nearly zero knowledge of the anime since I didn't watch it, I present to you a short review of the 3 new limited collab units. We begin with Mikoto, whom I assume is the main heroine in the anime cause her face is on all the posters. And to be honest, from an outsider's perspective, while I can't comment about her personality since I don't know her, though I think I've seen clips where she's a tsundere, appearance wise, I'm especially digging her hairstyle, and to me, she looks really cute. But can someone explain why are there so many characters that look like her? In the game, she is a piercing DPS striker with heavy armor who has D combat power in urban terrains, S in field, and B in indoors. She also uses this equipment set with her equipping gloves instead of hat, giving her extra crit and accuracy. Her 3-cost EX skill is pretty straightforward, as she deals damage to enemies in a straight line, no pun intended. Also, her EX animation actually looks really fucking cool, holy shit. With her basic skill, which activates every 50 seconds, she deals damage to enemies in a circular area while applying the shock status effect, which inflicts damage every 4 seconds for 40 seconds. Her enhanced skill increases her accuracy and allows her to ignore Shokuhou Misaki's EXQ's confusion effect. Meanwhile, for her sub-skill, Mikoto's attack increases for 40 seconds every time her basic skill activates. At UA 40, she receives additional attack on her enhanced skill plus, and at UA 50, her field combat power improves from S to SS. Mikoto's main specialty lies in clearing out yellow mobs, and she does that quite well with her EX skill, which is quite similar to Junko's as it deals pretty good damage but for a lower cost. Her basic skill can also contribute to her yellow mob clearing capabilities as it is AoE and has the added advantage of applying shock. As such, like a lot of the other yellow AoE girls, you can obviously use her in commissions, specific joint firing drills, and more importantly for Cheesed, where she is a good option for one of your insane/torment teams, since she can clear out the minions pretty easily. Other than that, you could probably try her out as an additional DPS unit in the other yellow raids, or yellow Grand Assault stages, but Cheese is where she shines the most. Not only that, you could also try out Mikoto in PvP, where her EX has the potential to wipe out heavy armored students. Not to mention, her enhanced skill could be pretty interesting in this mode. While the increased accuracy can help her chances of hitting the high evasion tanks, the immune to Misaki's confusion effect buff could prove to be quite fun, especially if you're up against a team with Misaki, since she won't be affected. But how useful this would be, I'm not so sure, cause I'm not really a PvP guy. Overall, while Mikoto is a good yellow AoE damage dealer whom you can use in content that has a lot of yellow mobs, and a decent additional piercing DPS, unfortunately, in my opinion, she's basically just a premium yellow unit, as personally, I feel she doesn't really bring anything new to the table, and she's easily replaceable by other yellow mob clearing units, including someone like Junko, who again is quite similar to her, but arguably better, cause Junko's EX deals more damage, though at a higher cost, and she also has the invincible gimmick on her basic skill. Not only that, for PvP, I honestly don't see her being used a ton, as I repeat myself, there are other way better options to bring in, and even though she has that special enhanced skill, you probably won't be encountering Misaki a lot in PvP, as I think her usage rate is pretty low as well. But again, not a PvP expert, so I could be wrong on that. But either way, in terms of meta and gameplay, I would recommend skipping this banner and just using your other yellow AoE students instead and saving your pyroxenes for upcoming units. But if you're a limited collector or you're a fan of the anime, then yeah, go ahead and pull for her. I won't be, but I do really like her L2D. I mean, look how adorable it is. Oh, and she's alright too, I guess. Moving on to the second collab unit, Shokuhou Misaki, not to be confused with our sweet, depressed, suicidal student, Mikoto Misaki. This new, cute, cheerful Misaki looks kinda hot, And wait, you're telling me she's only 14 years old and she's built like that? Damn! No wonder she gets tired easily when running in-game. Those mommy milkers are weighing her down. She is an explosive support striker with heavy armor who has S combat power in urban terrains but has C combat power in field and indoors. She rocks this equipment set with the focus on the necklace as it boosts her CC power, something which she really needs. That's because with her 5-cost EX skill, she takes control of the enemy, dealing damage to one target and up to 2 additional nearby enemies, while inflicting the confusion effect on them, which works like this. The afflicted target will start attacking their own allies for the duration. The confused person can still get damaged or killed by their enemies, but they cannot be hurt by their own allies. Her basic skill deals damage to enemies in a round-shaped area every 30 seconds, her enhanced skill further increases her CC power, and her sub-skill boosts her defense and evasion stats for 20 seconds whenever she applies confusion on an enemy. She gains extra attack on her enhanced skill plus at UE 40, and her urban combat power upgrades to SS at UE 50. As you can tell, Misaki is primarily a CC unit, with her ability to apply the confusion effect through her EX, making her the first and only student in the game so far to be able to do so until Camp Kotama releases. Her CC's duration is quite lengthy, with it being one of the longest in the game at 7 seconds at max level. However, Chihiro's CC value is slightly higher, while Camp Kotama's is even longer, with her EX's CC at level 1 already being slightly higher than Misaki's EX at level 5, and Kotama's CC at max level is 11 whole seconds. But Misaki at least has the added benefits of inflicting AoE CC. With all this, Misaki can be used in the Horde raid, especially for one of your Torment teams, where she is able to contribute to stunning the pillars or Horde on either phase. Not only that, she also does see some use in PvP, as her EX can deal good damage, and the confusion debuff can make for some pretty fun stuff in this mode, since nothing is more enjoyable than watching the opposing sensei students attack each other or run around aimlessly if there's only one of them left and they got confused. Though again, I can't be too sure how useful this is in PvP. Overall, Misaki is a good CC student, as her CC has a long duration, and the Confused debuff is pretty cool and unique. However, despite that, there really isn't much content that requires confusion specifically. And yes, while you can technically use her in HOD and even potentially Wakamo Hovercraft, though I haven't seen her be used in that raid before, if you have a bunch of other CC units, you can just use them instead, especially ones who are easily obtainable like Kayoko, Tsubaki, and Hoshino. Not to mention, Camp Kotama is releasing pretty soon, whom I feel is a better confusion student since her CC values are way higher, which will greatly help in the CC content. As for PvP, I feel that she isn't used as often, and again, in my opinion, you would be better off bringing other units who are more suitable for this mode, like another DPS or tank. And Misaki is just a unit you would use to have a bit of fun. But again, not a PvP guy, so please correct me if I'm wrong on that. So, all in all, I would personally advise you skip her if you're only interested in meta, as you can just use other CC units instead and just save your pyroxenes. However, like Mikoto, if you're a limited collector or a fan, then go ahead and pull for her. As for me, while I do find her kinda hot and cute, I will also unfortunately be skipping her. Yes ma'am, I will pull for you. Finally, we have the welfare student, Saten Ruiko, whose design may be basic, but I actually quite like it cause I'm a simple man. I see a cute long black hair girl I like. She is a special yellow DPS who has C combat power in urban terrains, A in field, and B in indoors. She also uses this equipment set, though I ain't sure why she uses necklace when she doesn't have any CC capabilities. With her EX skill, she swings a baseball bat like another character in a different gacha game to deal damage to enemies in a circular area. First time I've seen someone using a baseball bat in Blue Archive. But hey, rules are made to be broken, am I right? For her basic skill, every 45 seconds, she increases the attack of one student for 20 seconds. And the number of allies affected by this skill increases by 1 with every activation, up to a maximum of 3 allies. Her enhanced skill bumps up her attack, and her sub-skill boosts all allies' attack. With her enhanced skill plus at UE40, she gains even more attack, and her indoor combat power improves from B to A at UE50. There really isn't much to talk about Saten. She is just your standard special yellow AoE damage dealer who can deal pretty decent damage, allowing her to effectively clear out yellow mobs. And similar to Mikoto, it makes her a good option for yellow mobbing content like commissions, certain joint firing drills, and mainly cheese, when she can be a decent choice for your insane or torment teams, or even for the lower difficulties. Not only that, she can also buff your team's attack with her basic skill and sub-skill, which is very useful in increasing your team's DPS. Though her basic skill might take some time to be fully effective since it needs to proc multiple times for it to affect most of your team. Overall, Saten is your average yellow AoE DPS, and she can deal good damage while passively providing attack buffs to your entire team. While she isn't anything special, getting a new free yellow AoE student as a backup option is always really nice. And if you're a new player, Saten would definitely be a great addition to your roster since you probably won't have a lot of students yet. However, I would personally say that you don't have to stress too much about farming for her Alephs through the supply box thingamajig. While having more of her Alephs is nice, it's not needed, as in my opinion, getting her to 3-star is more than sufficient, unless she's your waifu, in which case, go ahead and farm, I guess. And that's all for this week's review. All in all, in terms of gameplay, you should probably skip both Mikoto and Misaki, as they aren't exactly great units, and there are tons of other students who can easily take their place. Instead, they are mainly targeted to those of you who are fans of the anime or limited collectors, in which I don't even have to tell you to pull, cause I know you will. For those of you who aren't pulling, myself included, just a reminder that these collab units are really limited, as in, unlike other limited units, they are probably not going to have a rerun. Yes, there are rumors of the Railgun banners rerunning in the future, but we don't know if that's true. So, if you have FOMO and you don't want to miss out on these limited banners, since they might never return, then yeah, maybe you could try going for them. But other than that, go ahead and pull if you love them. But remember, if you do spark them, you might not have enough pyroxenes for other upcoming meta units. Not saying you shouldn't spark them, cause your pyroxenes, your rules. By all means, spark them if they're your waifus. It's just a food for thought for you to consider. Also, I have to mention this. Don't feel bad, Railgun fans, cause even though your girls aren't exactly top tier units, they're already still better than another certain collab character starting with the letter M. Anyways, let me know who you're pulling for if you are, and who your favorite Railgun character is. I don't have much knowledge about this anime, but it'll still be interesting to see. And I'll see y'all in the next one.